All right, welcome back, everybody. Got the Sticky McSchnickens crew here. Going to talk about the card show we had at Virginia Beach and a couple other topics. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We got the whole crew here today. We got Uncle Mike, we got Josh, and we're all here together. We're going to talk about the card show that we went to this weekend. Set up a booth at the Virginia Beach Card Show. And we had a good time. I thought the turnout was well. The customer base, there was a bunch of people there. I was really surprised. The pretty big event for this area, and I had a good time. So Mike, what did you think about the turnout and the venue?
Well, I love the venue. It's my favorite one around here. It's big. On our extent, we've got a lot of room behind us. You know, we can set up chairs, we can put our stuff back there. And I was surprised every time I walked out of the venue and walked back in, you couldn't see tables. All you could see was people. I mean, there's a ton of people there. It's my favorite one. And I always seem to make a little money there, so I'm cool.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. We did pretty well. Josh, what do you think? I mean, I thought every time I looked up, there was just, lines of people behind our table. I mean, there were so many people you couldn't figure out which one to interact with sometimes. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was the second time having it at the field house. And just it seemed like it got bigger. I mean, I know we had a different spot than the last time. But it definitely felt like the Sticky McSchnickens booth was the place to be. I mean, not being biased or anything, but I mean, it just seemed like there's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people there. And I know, we got there to set up at 6:45, I think it was. And even some of the vendors started coming around and making deals with us. And, we look up and it's like, oh, has it started yet? We're like, no, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. And, we already, so yeah, it was busy. It was, I think it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's definitely something this area needs for just a hobby.
One thing I did notice too is that, usually we go to the show and we're talking to each other a lot. I didn't really have any opportunity to talk to any of you guys. We're always talking to somebody else. And I mean, I was down at one end of the table working that in. Mike, you were down at the other end of the table working your corner over there. And I noticed you had a bunch of people just kind of lined up in front of you all the time. So I don't know. I mean, what was your perspective?
Yeah, I think especially with our location this time helped us out a lot. I mean, last time we were kind of stuck in a corner. This time being in the middle of the room, in everybody's path they came by, and with your setup with the bags, I mean, kind of drew everybody over with the lights and the spinning wheel and everything. I think that brings everybody over. And once you get them to the table, then they see the quality of the merchandise that we have out, and how much different things we had out. I mean, we had so much stuff out between baseball and Marvel and football and hockey and even a little bit of NASCAR. I mean, there's, guys know they come to our table. There's just a lot of merchandise to choose from.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I think diversity is key, right? When you're playing this game, is you got to have something for everyone. Not everybody's just interested in baseball. Not everybody's just interested in basketball. People like to see different things, and I think we've done a pretty good job of putting a variety of different subjects out there. We've got Marvel, we've got Fortnite, we've got baseball, and so on. So yeah, I thought that was I think good points there. So I think one thing too that we were trying to kind of up our game with was the interaction with everybody around us, the customers, the people that are working next to us, trying to really get out there and kind of give everybody the experience they kind of remember when they were kids. I know me and Uncle Mike used to go to card shows all the time, right? And it was fun. You go there and looking at the cards and people kind of interacting with you. I kind of wanted to bring that feeling back to the our table, and I thought we did a good job with that. And we had some mystery packs that seemed to be did pretty well. I don't know. What did you think about that, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think me and you talked about it, you know, some of the other day, you know, me and you've been doing it since we were young. Just like you said, you've been with, you know, you would go to your Uncle Mike, we'd go to like the shows at Lake Wright and stuff like that. And, you know, I think it's, we got to think about, you know, the younger generation coming up and passing on kind of like the love for the hobby that we had. And I could tell you that like, eh, there was a lot of kids there,
There
and
was a lot of kids there.
which was cool, you know.
Yeah.
And I I'm not. There was one kid that came up to Mike, and the knowledge that he was bringing to the table, and
Dude,
and
I'll
Mike
tell you
was
what.
talking
Marketing.
I was like looking at this kid, and he's talking about, you know, I don't know if I can, if I don't know if I got the margins for that. I'm like, this kid's like 10 years old. I'm like,
Yeah, I
what
hear
in
you.
the world?
The knowledge
Um,
of the youth has gotten better, and the
it's
negotiating skills have gotten better.
yes,
You know, I was
yeah,
God knows I would never be able to do that if I was 10 years old, right?
and
You know,
yeah, and
I
I
treat
think that
these kids
it's
like kids
this.
sometimes, and I got to remember, hey, these guys are smart now.
It's this. It's. I mean, it's kind of like what we're doing now. You know, we're talking about this. We're doing this. You know, we're doing this roundtable. You know, like discussion thing. They're on YouTube watching this stuff, and they're
Mm,
sponges, and they're just soaking it up,
that's a
and they're
good point.
starting young. You know, we got Landon and Hunter. You know, my nephew Hunter. You know, your son Landon. You know, doing it with us, and yeah, the interaction with the kids and just the overall experience. I think we kind of took it back like to like, you know, old school, you know, interacting with people and the, you know, like kind of like what Mike says, once you get the, you know, Mike said, once you get the people there, you know, that's when, you know, things can kind of go down. You know, you don't want to be this, you know, just sitting there not interacting. People just look and walk right by in a matter of 5 seconds.
That's
You know,
right.
so
And sometimes you go to a table, and I'm not trying to point anybody out here or anything, but sometimes you go to a table and you walk up to the case, and there's like, you know, 25 to $10,000 cards in there, and you got the guy sitting in the back, and they're just kind of like, you know, they're intimidating to you, right? And I kind of wanted to, um, you know, break that ice because hey, we've got some, you know, we've got stuff all over the range, and you know, some it could be intimidating for people to, you know, ask questions. And I kind of wanted to break that and, you know, be friendly to everybody. So I thought we did a good job with that, fellas.
But
Uh,
once you get them to the table and start talking to them, then you get to learn what they like. And how many times do you say, well, you know, he says this, and you reach in the case and you pull this out. Well, you need this card then. I mean, if you're into
yeah,
this, this is the guy you need.
yeah,
And it's also this time was good because there was because of Howard Johnson was there. There was a lot of Met fans there, so
that's right.
that's something I can talk about. So you know, I got to talk to a lot of people about Met stuff. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it only
Yeah.
took me about 30 minutes going in. I'm sitting there like, man, what, like, why there's so many Mets fans here? Like, this it was way more than what I remember. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
It was like music to my ears, you know, it was a beautiful sight. You don't
all
get
the
that
orange
very
and
often.
blue.
That's right. So Mike Harrell. So the non-sports card market, man, it's been kind of booming here lately. Marvel cards are real hot right now. Um, you know, you got the Fortnite and anything else out, you know, this non-sports seems to be real popular. You know, what's your take on it? How you've been kind of tackling that?
Well, I think especially with the younger kids, man, they're really into the Marvel, into the Pokemon. I mean, the free package you put together for the kids was great. You know, got them to the table, got them free stuff, and you put some Pokemon cards in there, and man, they were just excited. You know, what I'm saying about the Pokemon, and you know, it's actually crazy to see like the parents now coming with the Pokemon. You
Yeah,
know, knowing what the kids want and asking you questions about the Pokemon. And of course, I'm not, you know,
better get up
on
to speed on that Charizard, sir.
yeah, it's one of the areas I need to be working on. I need to get my research in. You know what I mean? So
Very true.
yeah, a lot of people ask for different stuff. I mean, how many times we've been there and somebody's asked for UFC or you know NASCAR, which we have a little bit of because you know Uncle Mike and things like that, and you know we've kind of been dipping our toe into a couple other things. But I mean, there is a lot of different markets out there. I mean, me and Josh was talking about the other day. I mean, there was a Whatnot stream the other day, and they were doing Game of Thrones cards, and man, and people were paying big money for
that Drogon auto.
I'm just, you know,
Khaleesi.
how you get it, but they were paying big money for Game of Thrones, Star Wars. I see a lot of Star Wars stuff out there. I mean, so there's definitely a market for a lot of the other stuff also.
Yeah, good points there. I don't know. We got to keep up our game on that stuff. You know, luckily my son is very into Pokemon and he's very into Fortnite, so it keeps me on my toes. And if I need a question about a character or something, I got a resource right there. So,
Definitely.
So, you know, I was kind of worried about the baseball card market and how people were going to act, and you know, if there's going to be any interest, you know, because of the lockout that's going on. But Uncle Mike, what did you think based on what people were trying to look for? Did you see any indication that people weren't interested in baseball?
Baseball is America's pastime. There's always going to be an interest for it. I think everybody surely wants the season to get going and get underway. Everybody wants to see that, but I don't think interest has waned any at all about baseball. I mean, that's mostly what I sold was baseball.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still a market for it. It's still hot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's affected anything yet. And you know, hopefully here in the future hopefully soon they'll get the season rolling and end this thing. But Josh, what did you think?
Yeah, I didn't. I actually kind of, I think me and you talked about this the other week too, when we you know, we sold some Luis Robert cards that were just like, well, like what is going on here? I think it's just like what Uncle Mike said. You know, like baseball is baseball. You know, it's I believe it's the backbone of the hobby in general. You know, it doesn't have the extreme highs and lows of the other sports. It's you know, it's more something. I mean, it's the long haul type deal, and you know, most of the deals that I made were for baseball. And got people weren't afraid. I mean, you know, they were going after you know, the regular guys, you know, Cunha, Soto, you know, even some Trout. I made a deal for a Trout. But what's big, and it has not been affected, is the prospecting at all. If anything, it's gone through the roof.
Yes.
Because you know, the lockout kind of like doesn't affect them to a certain degree.
Hypes them even more.
Prospecting's on another level. And you know, I can just tell you that Bowman draft, if you're talking about getting into a product to try to flip and stuff like that, you got 5, 6, 7 guys in a product that you're going after, that you hit those refractors, you're flipping them, and people are buying them. You know, and so it's definitely not affected.
It's a volatile game, though. Prospecting is very volatile.
I think overall, though, I think the baseball market, I don't want to say like a sleeping giant, but I think it's just waiting for that news of what's going to happen. And, you know, obviously, I guess it's 9:00 right now. I don't know if anything's come out recently, but as soon as that word drops that it's either you know, hey, we're going through with it. Like if it says that they're going through and everything's good, I think you're going to see a really quick spike real quick, because people are going to start jumping on it just to set themselves up for the season.
So you're saying stay on your toes. And you made a good point, you know, earlier about baseball cards in general. Like, you know, baseball cards did start it all, right? You know, you go back into the late 1800s, there was no football cards, there was no NASCAR cards, nobody thought about Pokemon. Baseball ruled the landscape for 50 years, a half a century, easily, right? And then, you know, other sports start coming on. So you're right, you know, baseball kind of has that cornerstone in the card market. So yeah, good stuff. Mike, what did you think?
Well, I definitely thought the prospects. I mean, I sold, you know, me being a Oriole fan, I have a lot of Adley Rushmans and Gunnar Hendersons and guys that we're expecting to make impact later this year. And I think those sold well at the show. I mean, you know, a couple Rushmans and and those. And like you said, we got Bowman draft. I mean, every time I get a Bowman draft, if you get a Lauer or you know, a Davis or something like that, I mean, you can really get rid of it quickly. You know, that in the baseball market, it's either, you know, you hold on to something like a Rushman or a Davis or a Lawler, hoping that'll hit later, or you know, there is some quick flips in the prospect game. You can get a prospect if you can hit it and flip it quickly. You know what I mean? Other than that, you're going to be holding it and you're going to be trying to, you know, play the long game, hoping that they turn into a Trout or a Tatis or a, you know,
That's
Pereira.
a really tough game to play. You've really
It
got
is.
to be Nostradamus on that one. And I think you're right. These prospects, if you get a good prospect, if you doubled your money or made any money, you know, if people want it, why
Mhm.
not give it to them? Right.
Right.
So,
But how many times at these card shows have you heard somebody say, "Oh man, you know, I had the Mike Trout rookie card, man," you know, and
yeah,
I sold it
yeah,
for
that's a
200
game.
bucks, you know,
That's
saying
the
it
that's
was
the
fun.
game. You know,
And that
you better have two. Sell one,
Yeah.
keep one.
too.
see, I luck out in that because of me being an Orioles fan, and I'm hoping that Rushman comes out and is what he's expected to be. So I'm willing to put some of my money there as for a PC. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying? But to hold on,
Absolutely.
you know, people who are Angels fans who were hoping that Trout would do something, maybe we're able to hold on to those Trout cards. But for the normal guys that are flipping them, man,
They don't care. Yeah.
Get rid of it, make your profit, and move on. I was telling Josh yesterday, I sold 2 Rushman cards, and I was like, man, I was right back on there trying to find some more Rushman cards.
Gotta fill that void.
Yeah, I need those.
Well, you know, and even like for our area, you know, we aren't like some of these bigger market areas that have a professional team. So when you have like the Tides and stuff, which are with the Orioles, you know, that actually kind of works to your advantage too, Mike, because you have one of the top prospects in baseball is associated with this area to a certain degree, and people, you know, Mike and Jason know. I mean, with the Tides being with the Mets long ago, you know, like Mets cards used to go, you know, like
And they
hotcakes
still
here.
do. People,
Yeah,
you know,
they're
people are
still,
not
yeah.
Mets fans because the Tides aren't affiliated with them anymore.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
already established Mets fans in this area, and you know, I have
Still
to
a lot
keep
of
that
them.
in my mind, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of Mets stuff in my PC, a lot of doubles, and I don't want to put them out there, but you know,
Mhm.
people ask for them all the time. So
Yeah.
Oh, and hold on to your Billy Ripken cards. There's a market for them.
Yes.
there is a Billy
I told
Ripken fan out there, and I
one guy
told
that
him I
comes
would
up to our
try to
booth.
find some. Yes, yeah.
I told him, y'all got to remind me, because I told him my one thing that I was going to do was I was going to find a Billy Ripken card to give to this dude because he asked all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we got
I
to get
told
a
him-
Billy Ripken card somehow to give to
I
him.
I only have one Billy Ripken card, and you guys could probably figure out which one that is. I'm not even gonna mention it.
Is that? I think I should put a challenge out to everybody. We need to find the rarest Billy
Oof.
Ripken card
Oh my
and see what we
gosh.
come up with.
Oh wow. Challenge
That-
accepted.
Oh,
Yeah, that one. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, that's the covered up
That's
one. Yeah.
that's the FF, and that's the blackout. Up here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
need to
yeah,
find.
you got both of them.
I'm
Nice.
gonna do that. I'm gonna find a rare Billy Ripken card.
Nice.
Just
nice.
I do
you don't have Billy Ripken don't have a superfractor, does he?
it.
I don't think they had
Yeah.
that in 87 Fleer.
I'll be honest. I've never done a Billy Ripken search. I have no clue.
I don't have either.
All right. So, you know, talking to people yesterday, you know, I got asked questions, you know, so, you know, I got asked, I told people, hey, we're trying to expand it to doing some videos. We're on Instagram. We're doing some other things in social media, trying to, you know, kind of expand what we got going on here, get people interacting with each other. But I did have some people ask me some questions, you know, hey, do you guys do breaks? And I said, no, but then it got me thinking, hey, if this guy's thinking about doing breaks, there's probably other people thinking about doing breaks and they might be interested in that. So, what was like, did you guys have any interesting questions asked to you on Saturday?
The main thing I got asked about in the up, I got asked about Marvel like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I think we, you know, like there were other people kind of carrying some Marvel, but I think I'm not speaking out of line to say that I think we may have had the most Marvel there. I got to walk around a little bit, and we definitely have some Marvel. And I mean, I know this kind of is like piggybacking on like an earlier point, but I think people just it's a niche market, kind of like that. It's people are hearing about it, but they don't know exactly what to do, and they don't know where to get started, and so there was a lot
And
of
I'm right
interest,
there with them, right? And I've been asking you questions about it because, hey, for one thing, I got to figure out, the whole market. I don't know much about it. Shoot me when I say this, and people can leave comments, but I'm not a big comic book guy. I don't know the characters. I just didn't care about comic books and things when I was growing up, and superhero movies are all the same in my opinion. Shoot me. I know I'm going to get bad reviews on that, but however, people do like it. So it would be to my benefit to have some knowledge about it. So I've been picking your brain a little bit. And but yeah.
And I think, and I think that the reason why this is kind of taken off the way it's taken off is you're right with that. Like, the comic book people, comic book guys, it was kind of like their own little their own thing. And then you had the sports guys, the sports card people, and they're on their side. Well, when you kind of get a genre that's in the middle that kind of goes after everything, it kind of starts blurring the lines a little bit. And that's what I think Marvel cards have kind of done. And I think it piggybacked on Pokemon too. They had that saying, Charizard can't tear an MCL. Well, neither can Wolverine or Thanos. So and of course, at this point, when Disney's backing anything, it's going to it can't go wrong. It's going to be in your face. I mean, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel or whatever, it's not going to fail.
Right. And I think you're getting a lot of new interest, right? Like myself, right? People that didn't read the comics, but they like the movies. And so you're getting a lot of new people.
You've come around. You've come around. I'm actually shocked at how much you've come around.
Kicking and screaming, right? But I like cards, and there's a lot of cards out there I didn't even know about, right?
Yeah.
So interesting. Any other crazy
and Mike, Mike had the Marvel Weiss Schwartz boxes too, that you know anything about, like, what were people asking about that and stuff?
Yeah,
I think that was the biggest question was asked to me. Was nobody really knew about, like, they heard about them, they've seen some TikTok videos about the Weiss Schwartz, but being that it's only in Japan, they didn't really know about it. So we were selling boxes and packs and individual cards. We have quite a extensive amount of Weiss Schwartz. So I mean, I think that was the question: was what is this? How does this affect the market of Marvel cards? Because everything else is mostly Upper Deck and metal. Everything that Upper Deck has. So how does Weiss Schwartz fit into this? And they're more similar to a Pokemon card, I guess, with as far as, because it's technically a game card. You can play the game, over in Japan. I guess you could play it here if you bought all the cards and stuff. But they're, it's really got good artwork, and I think that everyone that bought one was very happy with it. I mean, we sold a box, and the guy had a stamp card, which is it's the second card you get hit. So I mean, he posted it up on the Instagram, and everything, that he got the box from us. So that was great, seeing the other person, hitting that card, and a lot of the kids liked it, saying, just so their parents buy a pack, at least to see how it is. So I think the market is definitely going to expand in the Marvel a lot more going forward. And like you said, they're not going to stop making movies, man. They're going to keep on, and there's too many characters.
They're going to milk that cow until it's dry.
You know what I mean? So it's going to keep changing, and it's going to keep coming around. I mean, once they're done, they're going to make another set of Superman movies, and they're going to make another set of, Batman movies, and they're going to make another set of, all these superhero, villain movies are all going to make, a 10-year, 12-year cycle before they start up again. So,
Good stuff. All right, quick rounds. Best baseball player of all time. Uncle Mike, what do you got?
He was the greatest hitter ever lived, Ted Williams.
All right, that's a good one. Josh, what do you got?
Greatest right-handed batter to ever live, Albert Pujols.
Okay, still playing.
Yeah.
All time great. I like it. Mike, what you got?
I just gotta go, man, with chick stick long ball, man. Babe Ruth was doing it before everybody else was doing it. Hitting more home runs in a season than the whole teams were hitting. So
Going
He's
nostalgic,
Ohtani
archival.
before Ohtani.
you know what I mean?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the unpopular pick, and I'm gonna say Barry Bonds. I've never seen anybody hit a baseball like that, and you can argue with me all day long. I mean, he did what he did, but he still played. He still hit all his home runs. You still got to do it. So,
Yeah.
well, fellas, I thought that was a good discussion. We got a big show coming up in April 1st. We're gonna be in Chantilly, Virginia. Big show. A lot of people are gonna be there. We'll have a booth set up. So if you're around or you feel like
Is there
taking a
anything
day trip,
local between here and then?
the next
There
local
actually
show
is.
is
March
yes.
19th. I guess we can give a
Pembroke.
shout out. The same guys that ran the field house, the Pembroke Bingo, Pembroke. Oh crap! I forgot. It's so long.
Pembroke Bingo Hall.
Bingo
Yeah, it's in the
Hall.
Chimney Hill Shopping Center.
Yes.
It's March 19th. Yep. And
Yep.
then the big show in Chantilly is April 1st through the 3rd, I believe.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we'll have a booth set up there, and anybody
Booth
local here in the Virginia
1300.
Beach area, make your way up there, and we'll be there for you guys. So looking forward to that. And with that being said, I appreciate it, fellas, for joining in today. It was good insight. I thought it was a good video, and we'll catch you guys next time.